Namaste, dear friends. Welcome to Subhu's Launch Talk. Today, let's have some light discussion. So today's launch talk is more a very light take on the various stages a human life cycle takes from the age of 20 onwards till 80. So let's have some light humor, but there is a message in this humor too. Every humor has got a central message too. Apart from being a topic of mirth, it will also keep your creative juices flowing. So, what am I going to talk about? So, there was a time when we as children were very, very naughty. It was very difficult for our parents to keep us in one place. I remember my mom closing the door, and yet we'll find some ways to open the latch when we were in from the age of say 5 years to between 5 years and 10 years and things like that. A very naughty upbringing. So, in one of the functions, it was very difficult for our parents and uncles to control us. And suddenly, one uncle kept us humored and then told us that this is your time. You can do whatever you want. But remember how things change as one ages. So, as a young child, you like to hear stories and you like to hear somebody telling something with reference to birds and animals. So, that curiosity was there. What is uncle going to say? And always, when you are a child, you feel that you want to become an adult. And when you are an adult, you feel like you have to become a child. This is the falsafa of life or the conundrum of life, puzzle of life. When you are small, you want to become big. When you are big, when you are a child, you want to be like an adult. When you are adult, you want to be like a child. So when you are a child, you want to say that I am not a small boy. I am also big. I'm also an adult. So these sorts of things. So we had all eyes and ears towards our uncle, and he started explaining that the current age of yours is like a horse. Let's say an age from 15 years to 30 years. You're like a horse. So we are wondering what horse? And horse jumps around, goes around here and there, and does gallops unbridled. कूदता रहता है इधर उधर कूदता है. So he said from 15 to 30 you will be like a horse. You have no worries. You keep going here and there with full speed. And then he said from 30 to 40 you become a donkey. Now how is that from 30 to 40 you become a donkey? So during that period one gets married, one starts a family life, one starts getting responsibilities of managing yourself, managing your family, managing your parents. So responsibility gets loaded on your shoulders. So your life is like a donkey to carry the load. So 30 to 40, one becomes a donkey. From 40 to 50, one becomes a camel. That is more responsibility in work, more responsibility at home, more responsibility of taking care of the society, I mean, your parents, etc. You get a double hump like a camel, not a single hump. Get a double hump like a camel, like a last straw on the back. उतना लोड हो जाता है by the 40 and 50, that much of things get loaded onto you for you to fulfill your domestic responsibilities. So now after 50, what? From 50 to 60, the fun starts. From 50 to 60, my uncle said, you will be like a barking dog. All of us, really was attentive, so attentive to the uncle, and also laughing at the same time. What is this, uncle? First told we are a horse, then donkey, then camel, and now barking dog. So we asked him how. So after between 50 and 60, he says, you will only bark, but nobody will listen. So you become a barking dog. What does a barking dog do? It will only bark. It will keep barking, but nobody is there to listen. So when you become 50, you are always like, वो बुढ़ा है बात करता रहता है, उसका क्या है, उसका काम है, उसका बोलने का उसका काम है, वो भोगता रहेगा, अपन जो करने का है करने का. So by 50 to 60, you become like a barking dog. It was very big fun listening to that particular explanation of my uncle, and I still remember it. Though I have heard this, today I'm recollecting it after more than 40 years. So after 60 to 70, what happens? After 60 to 70, he says, you will become like an owl. What, what does an owl do? He says an owl has big eyes and it can only watch what is happening. It can't talk. It can't. Nobody listens nobody listens. So you can only keep your eyes wide open and see what is happening without anybody bothering about you. So after 60, you become like an owl. So maybe after 70, you will become like a statue, I mean stone. कोई पूछने वाला नहीं, कोई कुछ करने वाला नहीं, पड़ा रहेगा, एक जगह में पड़ा हुआ है. This is as I progressed in life and as I aged, I started understanding the depth and humor of this particular classification which he had done, how a man's life changes every 10 years. Today it's an eye-opener. It looks like as if he knew how things will progress beforehand. And it's happening the same way. So why did he tell this story to us? So he told this story to us to make us aware that atam, patam, kondatam will be there for some time. In Tamil, it's called atam, patam, kondatam. It's a rhyming words. Atam means dancing, patam means singing, and kondatam means celebration. This atam, patam, kondatam will be there for some years. But as you age and progress, you will sober down. The burst of energy which you are showing now, or burst of naughtiness which you have now, it will not last forever. And over a period of time, we sober down, and then you find that The same thing is said in the four Purusharthas. Purusharthas, Purusharthas means goals of human life. It's the same. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Or rather, the first 25 years is like a brahmachari. You study, you focus on your acquiring knowledge. You focus, you don't get distracted. And the first 25 years, you are like the brahmachari stage is for acquiring knowledge. And from 25 to 50, you are a grihastha. The grihastha stage is where you take domestic responsibilities, where you get married, you raise a family, and then you not only uh, you give back something to the society, you sustain the society by your involvement in various activities, and then after 50 you get into vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means whatever you have learnt in the first 50 years, you convey it to the next generation. And that's how civilization progress. So in Vanaprastha, you get into sharing your experiences to the next generation. And after 75 years, you become a you you take sannyas from all these activities, renunciation. Sannyas means not going to the forest or not going to the mountain top for meditating. Sannyas means withdrawing yourself from the high activity which you are involved in. So the four stages is first from till 25 years brahmachari, 25 to 50 grahastha, 50 to 75 is vanaprastha, and after 75 sannyas. You fade off, fade off in the as you age. You fade off means not to interfere and say, "Arey, why did you do this? Why did you do that? During our time, it was like this. During those days, it was like this. You know, this is not the way you should do." That means you don't get involved into the nitty gritty of life. You don't get into the nitty gritty of anybody doing anything. तुम्हारा time हो गया. Now in sannyas take Ram नाम लो, भगवान का नाम लो and fade off. Try to withdraw yourself from all the nitty gritty of running a of showing how big you are or तुम्हारा जो कुछ भी है, whatever status and all those things, all now you withdraw from all those things. So this is how that the story which my uncle told me. From that I realized what these four stages of brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha and sannyas. And then there is a शायर who said हर उम्र में एक फितरत होती है, हर उम्र में, that is at each age we require something. एक फितरत होती है, खिलौने, प्यार, पैसा, खुदा खुदा. What does he mean by that? He says life starts with खिलौना. Those days अगर खिलौना दिया तो हम बहुत खुश. We require toys. खिलौने, toys के साथ मजा आता. That life, that period is toys is our ultimate happiness. Next, प्यार, affection, relations. That is the next thing which you look for. That is your ultimate happiness. Somebody likes you, somebody talks to you, somebody involves you, somebody considers you. So that gives that ultimate happiness. So after that, you require paisa. The more money you see, That gives you the ultimate happiness. पैसा पैसा पैसा, सबसे बड़ा रुपया. That money will give you that ultimate happiness. And once you have reached that पैसा भी अगर हो गया, finally it is खुदा खुदा. भगवान का नाम लेते जाओ, खुदा खुदा. You want to know, you want to reach that God, you want to know खुदा और भगवान और राम नाम. And that's how your entire life cycle is, like you say, a product life cycle in marketing. You have an early stage, then you have a growth stage, then you have a decline stage, and then you have a phase out stage. So similarly in life, you have a early stage, growth stage, and then decline stage, and then you fade out stage. So having said this, let's do, or let's understand the importance of every year that God has given us and every decade that God has given us. And in that decade, let us try to find, or let us try to do our responsibilities or do what is appropriate to that age. Like one wise lady told me, அந்தந்த வயசுல அந்தந்த பண்ணினா பரவாயில்ல. It's like at that age, you need to do that thing. For example, you say that I will not eat ice cream, it is bad for health, all those things. And at the age of 80, you say, I want to eat ice cream, I like ice cream. क्या फायदा? आइसक्रीम खाना है तो 15-20 साल में मनता उतना खाओ. And by the time we say 80, the teeth are already dropping off. You're already going to be a toothless. And doctors are already going to say, don't eat cold things, don't eat warm things, don't eat this thing, don't eat that thing. So if you develop a desire of eating ice cream at 80, what is the use? And then the vaisle means that age, you do that thing, whatever you want to. So you start with kilona, then you start with pyar, then go to paisa, and then kuda kuda. Hope you like this video. If you like this video, share it among your friends. Give your feedback in the comments. And please don't forget to press the bell icon. Subscribe. Till we meet in the next video. Goodbye and take care.